back here on the Boss Man Show. You see, I'm here with Dane Sprinkle, the coach of the Montana State Bobcats. But get the coach Sprinkle, I'll let you all know. Go to bossmanshow.com, go to the top of the page, hit the Amazon banner, and you can go shop through Amazon.com. If you shop through our website or help the community of Atlanta, help us raise money for Christmas time and also the first of the year, New Year's resources for people. So, folks, go to bossmanshow.com, hit the top of our page. Coach can do this too, even. You shop through Amazon through our website, help the community of Atlanta, help us help the community. So, folks, do that today. And now we're joined by my friend, Montana State Bobcats head coach Dane Sprinkle. Coach, good to see you, man. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. Always a pleasure being on the show and getting some of that down south lingo. I wish I had some of the food and some of the weather going on right now, but
I hear that.
I'll get down there soon enough.
Man, let me talk to you about it, man. You know, my birthday was March 11th, Coach Sprinkle, and, you know, that's when everything kind of went crazy on my birthday. So, were you all already in Boise when that went down? So, how was that, trying to get ready to play and everything just kind of shut down and sending kids home from there, man?
Yeah, we found out right after pregame meal. We were playing Portland State that afternoon, and we'd actually just had pregame breakfast, actually. Got back to the hotel, and that's when I got the call from the president of the school and our athletic director. And we had to bring the guys back down into the conference room and inform them of the decision that the tournament was canceled. And that's probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do in coaching, just from a standpoint of looking, your seniors in the eyes, and those guys, they'd meant so much to me just because obviously it was my first year as a head coach and how much they'd done for me. And, it was a challenging time, and I can only imagine. We only had 2 seniors. Some programs had 6, 7 seniors, and like our women's program, they won the championship. They were actually playing for the championship that night. The women's tournament starts earlier, and they had like 5, 6 seniors who were tremendous. And so, I mean, I can't even imagine how mad I'd be if I was our women's coach.
Most definitely. And for you, Coach Sprinkle, year one, buddy, 16 wins, 10 wins in conference and year one. So had to make you feel good to know you're getting where it counts the most, 10 wins in year one, where you have to play 20 games in conference there.
Yeah, it did. And, there's always some games where you look back and, you wish you would have won those, but then there's also some games where we probably got lucky to hit a couple shots and win those. So I think it was Bill Parcells says you are what your record says you are. And
yes,
we were 10-10, and which was a productive first season. It's still not where we want to get this program, but I think what we established in year one and going forward with some of the recruits we have coming in, I think we hopefully kind of set the standard. Now we gotta keep getting better.
And what did you learn in your first year as a head coach? I know you've been assistant coach under our friend DJ Taylor, of course, and other places as well. So what did you really learn that year when being the head man, making all those calls for yourself now this season?
Yeah, I mean, I realized how much stress a head coach goes through, and it's you almost want to call and apologize all the guys you work for because you don't even realize what they're going through at the time. And but just the daily decisions that you have to make that are pretty taxing just mentally. And it could be from everything from, you get this shirt, you want to put this logo or you want the other one, what colors you want. It's just like, there's so much stuff that goes into it. And then, being able to manage your boosters, your fan base, being able to manage your athletic department, your athletic director, associate athletic, marketing, and that's not even including getting ready for practice, coaching in the game, making sure your guys are okay mentally, physically, managing your staff. There's so much that goes into it that I don't even think you can prepare for it until you just kind of got to get thrown in the fire and you just kind of got to rock and roll from there.
I hear that. And then trying to go through year 2 here through a COVID offseason now. So how has that been COVID-wise, trying to keep guys in order in the classroom, accountable for that, keeping them healthy at home as well, Coach, and also get them in some kind of a shape to return back to you guys once the quarantine ended?
Yeah, there's no perfect way to go about it, I don't think. You just kind of have to take it day by day. You have to – I think as coaches now, we've all learned to be pretty fluid, and there's going to be days where you don't have 5 guys in practice. There's going to be days where you might only have 5 guys, and there's going to be days like we have today where there's nobody here. And, you just kind of have to take it day by day, and, you have to figure out different ways. Everybody kind of what we're doing now, whether you're Zooming or WebEx, keeping your players engaged, somehow academically, basketball wise, because sometimes they just have to sit at home if they're quarantined and they can't leave. It's hard to stay in shape, but trying to keep their mind engaged and just to make sure they're mentally okay. So that way, when they do get back, you can kind of hit the ground running. But it's been brutal. It really has. Probably just like you guys in any walk of life. I'm kind of a go-getter. I want to go out recruiting. I want to, you want to
Most
feel
definitely.
like you're getting something done that day. And there's days where you feel like you're not getting a whole lot done.
Well, I'll tell you, I haven't left Atlanta since March 9th, Coach, and I've been here the last 7 months. I haven't left town. I'm usually on the road covering the game here and there. I haven't left town in 7 months. I like to get out and see my people, having to conduct sales calls via Zoom and FaceTime and stuff. So I'm a hands-on person like you are, Coach, and being stuck here in the man cave downstairs is not what I'm used to.
Come up to Montana, man. You're always welcome. You're always welcome up here. It's one of the safer places in the country, so come on up.
I need that, Coach, because, here in Atlanta, man, folks crazy around here, buddy.
And we got direct flights from Bossman to Atlanta. So any recruits listening to, you guys got direct flights between here and Atlanta too. So
Most definitely. And speaking of recruiting, Coach, how was that via Zoom? Trying to meet people's families and get a relationship with their parents and get them to show them the campus via Zoom presentations. How was that this time around? That's something you keep going forward here.
Yeah, it was different. The one thing that we're pretty fortunate is academically, it's a pretty prestigious academic school, which a lot of people don't know until, we provide them with that information, especially our engineering business departments. And so once we kind of get that into the hands of the parents and the kids, like that, the academic sells itself. Now, a lot of kids just hear Montana and they've never been here. And so that's one of the things we kind of have to get past. But once we show them pictures and, show them some of the celebrities that live up here and how big Bozeman's getting, it's the fastest growing city of its size in the entire United States right now. And so a lot of people moving up here, but you have to find different ways to sell your university. You have to find ways to, like you said, do the virtual tours of campus, the arenas, your facilities, renovations or upgrades you're doing, which we're doing a lot of. And so I think it's going to change the whole landscape of recruiting going forward. I wouldn't be surprised if the NCAA changes a lot of rules now that they know we can save a lot of money by doing a lot of virtual stuff. But I think probably like you were just mentioning a minute ago, there's nothing like physically getting on a college campus and feeling and touching and sitting in an arena, sitting in a locker room and feeling the vibe and the energy that's on that campus.
Hey, Coach, it's not fun doing reporting, watching practice via Zoom. That's not fun to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather be right there on the court watching guys, how they shooting the ball that day, how their mindsets, how they respond to coaching. I can tell via Zoom to a degree, but after seeing really how it is, man, nothing like it, man. It's hard doing the gig here via the Zoom thing, but it's good for the radio show. But for the other part of my job, not so good.
No question. Yeah, there's a lot of real life situations that we could talk about that Zoom's not the way to go.
You got that right, brother. You got that right. And now look at this, Coach. So talk to us about this, man. Your conference, the Big Sky, for young men here in Atlanta and beyond. That's a great conference out there, man. And Montana, Coach DeCure and them guys, they didn't win this time. Coach Leggins got them that championship. So the conference from top to bottom, even you guys getting 10 wins, it's not an easy out in the Big Sky ever. So I thought for young men, if you go into the Big Sky, the basketball is high quality, coach is high quality, and guess what? If you put out the right film, the scouts will find you and see you.
No question. I mean, you look at Damian Lillard played at Weber State in the Big Sky. Rodney Stuckey that played for the Pistons, he played at Eastern Washington. I think Weber State had another kid they might have had two other kids either get drafted in the past 10 years. So like there's been there's some tremendous players. We had a kid at Montana State. I didn't coach him, but he was before me, Tyler Hall, who's the all-time leading scorer in Big Sky Conference history. And he played with the G League team for the New York Knicks. And don't be surprised if he's in the NBA this year. And so, I mean, it's a very talented league. It's a very well-coached league from top to bottom. No matter where you go, it's a tough league to win on the road because we are in kind of remote places where they're college towns. So when you're going there, I mean, there's always a good environment, and it's hard to win on the road. And you're always, very rarely are you able to just bus to a place. And so, I mean, it's taking a flight, staying in a hotel, and getting ready to rock and roll against a good home court advantage. So it's a tremendous league, and it's only getting better. You mentioned, I don't know if you knew, but I think we're the 18th or 19th rated conference in the country last year. I believe out of 29, 30 conferences. And so, when you factor in the Power Five and then Mountain West, some of those, I mean, all of a sudden there's 14 right there, and all of a sudden we're in that next five, which is pretty impressive.
Most definitely. So, Coach, tell us something about your newcomers this year that you have coming back on your roster, some of your returners, because I want my listeners to know who to look for on your roster. I'll tell my listeners to check you out. I know it's late night. I know it's kind of a few hours behind, but, hey, check my man out. So tell us some guys what you just look out for on your roster this year, newcomers and returners here.
Yeah, we have a big guy who's going to be a junior. He came in last year was his first year along with me, and he got newcomer of the year in our league. His name's Jabril Bello, 6'8", 6'9", really athletic. I mean, his potential is limitless, because he just started playing when he was 15 or 16 years old.
Wow.
He's from London, and so he's tremendous. He'll be one of the top returning players in the league. Another kid from London, his roommate actually, Amin Adamu, was a JC transfer that came in when I got the job. He averaged about 12 and a half a game last year. Really explosive player, and expecting huge things out of him. He'll be a senior. We had another guy sitting out last year, Xavier Bishop, who played for a good friend of mine, Kareem Richardson, at University of Missouri, Kansas City. He transferred here. He has 1 year left. He's about 5'8" on a good day. And but he is jet quick. He can really finish at the rim. He can score it. He was a third leading scorer in the WAC conference 2 years ago. And so we're expecting huge things from him. We have another 6'11" kid, Devin Kirby, who will be in his fifth year this year, who just keeps getting better and better. But he's probably our best defensive player and rebounder. And so, we got some pieces coming back. We got a lot of young talent that we brought in. We have 8 new guys. Everything from one grad transfer to 3 JC kids to 2 high school kids. And so I'm excited with kind of the potential and bringing this group together.
Most definitely, you have a great mix there of young and old, because you need to kind of be old but have the right mix in the pipeline so you can keep it going. So I think you got it going good so far, brother. I think you've got something brewing.
No, I hope so. Hopefully they can make some shots and get in a defensive stance when the time calls for it.
Here's that. Most definitely. So I got to ask you, man, tell us about your golf game. I know I talked to Coach Taylor and Coach Smith. They told me you are a great golfer, man. So
first off, if anybody listens to your show, they know Coach Taylor and Coach Smith. Don't listen to anything they say if they're talking about that, especially about golf. Don't listen to that. No. Diedrich actually came up this summer, and he stayed with me for about a week, and we got out and golfed, and man, he was whooping my butt. So don't even let him hype you up, or Coach Smith. But no, I was glad I was actually able to get out on the golf course this summer. That's the first time I was able to get out in quite a while. Because in LA I'd play maybe once or twice a year, and it was fun. Obviously, I get a country club membership here with MSU, and so it's fun because you can get out there and you can mingle with the boosters, and there's some great guys out there. But I would say I'm a very, very average golfer. Don't let them hype you up.
Well, Coach, like I told Coach Taylor and Coach Smith, man, look, everything I'm hitting is going left, because I have this whole cross body swing routine. Everything is going left always.
I wish I knew mine was going left. Mine could go left, right, back. You never know which way mine's going, so at least you know which direction it's going.
Same with bowling. When I bowl, it's always going left on me. It's like so right hand dominant. Everything's going left on me because anything I do is go left on me. Anything I do golfing or bowling, I'm screwed. It's left every time.
Hey, you just gotta aim a little more to the right, golfing and bowling wise, and that way it'll go right where you need it to go.
Exactly. And that's what I asked you, coaches, about is the schedule. I know we started November 25th. It killed 2 weeks of scheduling for you guys. And I know you got to raise some money for university. So how has that been, trying to kind of get games, doing different states having different quarantine, different regulations? So how has that been so far?
Yeah, it's been crazy. Kind of like everybody else, there's a lot of people still scrambling for some games. We're fortunate we're pretty much done. We still have 2 contracts that are outstanding, just waiting for a couple signatures. But what we do have right now is we're going to play at Washington State right around December 18th or 19th, Pac-12 opponent. Then we're going to drive straight from there to University of Portland, and we'll play University of Portland on December 22nd. We have University of Pacific with Coach Stoudemire, who's done a tremendous job there. And we play them December 2nd out on the road. And so we got 3 really tough games right there just on the road. And our other games are more than likely going to be on the road also. But if we can't have fans in our arena, I would rather be on the road. And, because we are going to have to make money, not only for our program, but for some of our other programs in our department to help them out too. And so we're probably going to be on the road for the whole month of November and December. And hopefully we're able to have fans back in our building come conference time. The end of our first conference game is December 31st. So.
Wow, yeah. Well, I'm hoping you all can raise that money, and hopefully in 2021 is the season you can come to Atlanta, and hopefully that one of the schools here will bring you out this way, and I can show you a good time while you all are here.
Tell Coach Pastor to pay us a little bit of money. We'll come down there.
Hey, he's my guy. I got to send him a text, man. Hook my man up in Montana State, man. Hook him up with something.
No doubt.
Guy over there at Tech. Over on Tech. Y'all got something for my man.
No doubt, man. We'll have pregame meal at Spawn Divots, and I'm sure there's some other. We'll go to 6 Feet Under one of those times. We'll hit some good spots.
Most definitely. Oh, can't forget about 10 Lizzie's in Grand Park. Great tacos. Pick any 3 you want to, and there you go.
I've been there, and I'm trying to think. The other place I always tell Coach Taylor about is the Flying Biscuit.
Yes, the Flying Biscuit. Place. But he loves the Waffle House. He's a Waffle House guy, though. He loves the Waffle House.
He can eat. I had to plan. Me and Coach Smith, we'd have to plan out our recruiting, and we'd have to find where the Waffle House was, and we'd have to say, okay, it's 15 minutes. Okay, we got to get him here to get him back in time for this game, because he's not messing around with his Waffle House.
Hey, he's a house king. Man, I say, man, you are the house king. Like, look, Waffle House is cool in a pinch, but man, you love it too much for me.
No doubt, man. Me too. And he gets the same thing. He could go there 3 times a day. He'll get the same thing.
Wow. See, I can't do it, man. Like, I like the house for what it is, but it's like every day, bro, 3 times a day. Nah, man. I got to switch up a little bit.
Me too, man. Me too.
Man, Coach, good to catch up with you. Good to see you, man. I said, I'm going to take care of you. Come in town. I'm going to take care of everybody, and I'll talk to Josh for you as well, brother.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so
Always
much.
Good. Hey, appreciate you having me.
Anytime, buddy. And thanks for on the Bossman Show.
For all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hey there, your yard took a real beating this summer. Luckily, Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard has your back. Just feed your grass with Scott's again this fall when the air is cool and the soil is warm. It's the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. If you do, Winter Guard will give your yard the nourishment it needs to help weak, thin grass recover and support root growth, giving you a greener, more resilient lawn both now and next spring. Guaranteed. Grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard today. You'll be back to barbecuing in no time. This is a Scott's Yard.
Hey parents, we all try to be extra careful with our children in the car, but then we get an important call or text. Remember, our children are watching. Make every drive a good example. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
All right, folks, back on the Bossman Show here with my buddy Dana Ford, Missouri State Bears here with me. But folks, go to Coach Ford, go to Amazon.com, go to the Bossman Show tab on the Bossman Show website, click the Amazon banner, shop there, and also get your Amazon kickback for the Bossman Show and also the community as well. We're trying to raise money for kids for Christmas as well here at the Bossman Show. Go to our website, the banner, Amazon at the top of our page, shop through our website. You get a little bit of a kickback, so does the show as well. We help the community in Atlanta here. But now we're going to go to my buddy, Dana Ford. Coach Ford, man, how you doing, brother? Talk to me.
Good. Doing good, boss. How are you?
I can't complain, man. Enjoying this pandemic best way I can. I told you off there, man, learning about stocks, playing the guitar now, man. I lost some weight, enjoying the man cave down here in the ATL, man. No complaints on my end, brother. How's things with you and your family?
Things are good. COVID has, obviously changed some things. I've spent a lot more time with my family, and like you said, I've taken on some new hobbies and tried to be a better Mr. Fix-It around the house. And again, just trying to develop and become a better person during these challenging times. And hopefully all of us come out better when this is all over.
You got that right, buddy. Now, Coach, I know you lost the Valpo on March 7th, so you wasn't really in that mix of that week, the crazy week after that fact. So how'd you all handle the whole COVID thing when it came down, sending your guys home, moving from in class to virtual? How did all that go for you and your staff and your team?
Well, we were on spring break at the time, so our guys were gone in the first place. So we just told them to stay wherever they were. And as coaches, we were all out recruiting. And so we immediately had to board a plane or a car and get back to town as soon as possible. I was out on the East Coast, maybe in the Connecticut area, and I had to board a plane and get back home. I believe it was the March the 6th, maybe, or 7th, or somewhere in that range, or I guess the 9th it would have been, something like that, after our game, like you mentioned. But definitely came out of nowhere for us, and we had to adjust on the fly. But our guys were home, no one was on campus, and the one that was in town stays off campus, so he immediately went into lockdown like the rest of the country.
Most definitely. And, just having to have your young men's academics take full stage there at home and not able to be in that environment structure around you guys. So academic advisors probably played a big role for you and your assistant coaches to make sure your young men had a strong semester in that spring semester and the summer as well.
Yeah, our academic services here does a great job, and our guys were on par prior to COVID, and after COVID really, really handled it well. Our guys were in constant communication with our academic services, and our professors were very accommodating, like I would imagine most would be around the country doing this type of situation. So we ended with one of our best semesters. We didn't publicize anything like some programs did in terms of GPAs and things of that nature, but we did have multiple guys make the Missouri Valley Conference honor roll, and we had one of the best semesters probably we've ever had. And a lot of that has to do with a lot of classes went to pass fail just due to the pandemic. And so if you had 12 hours and 3 of them went to pass fail, and you only had to complete one class for a letter grade and you received an A, you actually got a 4.0. So it's a high GPA, but there's a little bit of method to the madness to making that happen.
Most definitely. And so how do you keep your young men engaged, Coach Ford, mentally when you're away from them? They're back in their own places, back home with their families. So how is that using the Zoom time and FaceTime to engage your young men mentally, knowing what was going on all around us with the social justice in our country and the world, of course, and the pandemic? So how did you all use that to kind of keep your young men engaged with what's going on in the world and keeping them mentally sharp as well?
Well, what we decided to do was to allow them to totally unplug, and that meant even from our program, and put their families first, their health first in terms of the COVID, and kind of just do their own thing. And so we had Zooms, but we didn't have quite as many as some other programs maybe, because we just felt like at that point in time we would be pressing some things, and there was no end in sight. So you make this huge commitment to starting to do these Zoom meetings and team meetings, and there's no end in sight. So how long would you possibly be doing that? And we didn't want to get into that type of situation. But when problems may occurred, or when we felt like topics are big enough to discuss, we definitely got together on a couple Zoom calls and really got on the same page. And we spent most of that time recruiting because we had to sign a big class in the spring. So we didn't have a lot of time to just connect with the few guys that we had left over. We did that on a more individual basis.
And how was that Zoom recruiting, Mac? I know you're a face-to-face guy. You look see guys in person, love to touch them and feel them. How is it for you being the way you are, man, having to recruit via Zoom and do on-campus visits via the Zoom, showing them the campus and showing their families via Zoom? How was that for you?
It was challenging because, like you mentioned, we're more of a hands-on staff here. We like to connect with our people, but in this situation, it was our only choice, and so we made it work for us. One thing I will say about Zoom, it seems to be a lot more time-consuming than the traditional phone calls, because obviously you're here, you're face-to-face, and it's not like a phone call where you could possibly be doing something else, maybe like walking your dog or making your breakfast or grabbing a coffee or something like that. So it took a lot more planning, a lot more organization. And, we've always preached that communication is the key in our line of work. So it just took that communication and gave it another element.
Most definitely, and for you, young men come play for you. They're gonna play for a great coach first and foremost. But playing them in the Valley, 7 of your 10 schools, including yourself, are 500 or better in conference last year. So when it's trying to tell a young man on coming to Missouri State, the academics is great, but also you're playing a great conference, one of the top majors in America in the Valley, where 7 out of 10 schools are 500 or better in conference play.
Yeah, we have a great league, and there's a lot of parity in our league. There are veteran coaches and a lot of 4- and 5-year players and fantastic guard play, as well as, and now in our league we have these traditional big men that are really good, and we're fortunate to have one in Gage Prim. But I've always been a fan of the Valley. I played in the Valley, coached at the Valley at 3 different schools now, including my alma mater, Illinois State, Wichita State, who's now in the American Conference, and now being the head coach at Missouri State. So I'm very familiar with the league, and I've always had a great amount of respect for this league. And like I mentioned before, veteran coaches that have great systems and tough-minded, high IQ, skilled team basketball players is typically what you'll see in the Missouri Valley. So great fans. Most schools are located in what we would consider basketball towns, basketball communities, unmatched history dating back to Larry Bird and Oscar Robinson and Hershey Hawkins and as recently as McDermott and guys like Van Vliet at Wichita State. So just a great league.
Most definitely. There's no easy outs. Like you say, even Evansville's a hard out for anybody. So was Drake, who's right at 89. All the schools at the bottom, it was no easy outs. And, of course, you know how it is in college play. Guys get up for certain teams, and you play them on a certain day, and the shots ain't going down, they can beat you. So you have to always be prepared in the Valley, no matter who you're playing, home or away.
Yeah, it's a tough brand of basketball. And like you mentioned, no matter – who you're playing, you need to be ready to play. Anyone can beat anyone. Evansville last year, they had a tough situation with how their program kind of got interrupted there about a fourth of the way through the year. Dealt with some internal issues, but prior to that, they beat the number one team in the country, and that team finished 10th in our league. And even a team you look at like ours last year that was really talented. It took everything in us to stay out of the play-in game, and that just shows you the amount of team basketball, the level of coaching in this league, and really the toughness and what it takes to win it and be good at it. And I believe that those are the recipes for success when you talk about Missouri Valley.
And how you feel you're growing as a coach? I'm talking to you 6 years as a head coach, man. I can't believe it's been 6 years now. So how do you feel like you're growing as a head coach over these past 6 years, running your own show now?
Well, I think you get better every day, like any line of work. You got to be humble in order to improve. And I've always had a humble mindset, and you learn something new every single day. I would definitely say that I've developed as a head coach. I've always been one to challenge myself and not shy away from tough competition. And I believe that that's allowed for me to really evaluate myself a lot and always be able to try to do some things to get better and, listening more to our players and, leaning on other coaches in the business to see what and how they do certain things, as opposed to trying to answer all the answers to the test myself. So, the list of improvement, we could talk all day about it, but I think the most important thing is being humble and learning every day. And that's something that I try to do. And I really think it's helped me become a better head coach.
Since you've been the same guy since I've known you, you never treated me any differently. You've always been the same dude. So I can say that humbly. You've been the same guy since I met you. You never changed a bit. You're still the same cool dude I've known. I first met you 6 years ago, man.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone would let anything ever change them in a negative way. I guess change is good if it's a positive, but not being a good person and losing contact with friends and colleagues, that to me would not be a sign of a good person.
Now, Coach, the schedule probably for you has been out of whack as well because, the 2 weeks have been pushed up. So how's it been trying to get games and knowing different states have their different rules about quarantines and things of that nature? So how's that been trying to get the schedule together for November 25th here, coming up in a month and 4 days?
Yeah, it's very challenging. Scheduling is always hard, but when you add the COVID-19 situation, it becomes even harder. And there's a lot of unknown. And what you've got to try to do is make an educated guess on what's best for you and your program. Number one, the safety of the players. Number two, you have to take in consideration your fans if you're going to allow fans. And then I think number three, how are you going to make your team better? So every team is different. Every team needs something different to become better. Our team last year, I felt like they really needed to be challenged in order to have a mindset to get better every single day. And this year's team is not nearly as experienced as last year's team, so they're going to need something else in non-league scheduling. So it has not been easy, but we are tackling it one day at a time, trying to keep our players safe, trying to keep our fans happy, and trying to become the best team that we can before December 30th.
Now, Coach, as far as you guys getting back on campus here, how's it been to kind of give them that ramp up to get ready to kind of go with it? So how have you all kind of approached that so they won't get those soft tissue injuries where they nag all year long with a hamstring or a little knee or an ankle? So how's it been to get these guys kind of ramped up, ready for November 25th here as you all prepare here, preseason here?
Well, we just try to conduct business as usual. We are huge advocates of prehab. meaning getting in hours before practice to get with our trainer and allow for him to work on certain body parts that may have tested out weak. We have a template here where we can actually test the bodies of our players and see what areas need to be strengthened. And we try to do a lot of prehab, and then we try to give them as much rest as possible. It's not unusual for us to give our guys consecutive days off in order to try to get their bodies rejuvenated. And we encourage a lot of drinking of water, a lot of sleep. And we feel like if you can try to do those things, prehab, rest, water, and sleep, you're going to do your body a lot of good. And, we try to practice pretty physically, and we try to practice, pretty hard. So you can't always, avoid those things in practice, but there's some things off the court I think you can do to help your bodies recover faster, and that will allow for you to stay injury free.
Coach, I know about you and your wife's Finance Rebound Foundation. What do y'all have going on with your foundation? What have y'all been up to since we last talked last year? And share with listeners with how they can help you all out as well and donate to your great organization you all have.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my wife, Christina, she's done a fantastic job with the Rebound Foundation. Not only do we have 2 transitional homes here in Springfield, but we just broke ground on one in Chicago, which is her hometown. And we're looking forward to working with the city of Chicago and trying to help women and children, get back on their feet after tough situations of maybe domestic violence, whether it be physical, emotional, or even verbal abuse. And if you would like to help, our website is reboundfound.org. And my wife, Christina Ford, is the CEO, and they've also got identification on Twitter as well as Instagram. Rebound Found. And so, it's been a humbling experience, and it's been something that we have a lot of pride in and respect for, and to help families, especially as you get closer to the holiday season. It's a big deal in our household, and we're going to continue to do that.
And Coach, you have a new baby now. How's that been for sleep-wise, buddy?
Yeah, my wife, she does a great job with a lot of that. She takes care of our newborn daughter, Klein Elizabeth, and I have to take care of the other ones. And so we've got a 2-year-old who likes to wake up at 5 a.m. And so I try to go to bed no later than 1 or 2. But when he's waking up at 5, some mornings I'm dragging it a little bit.
I hear that way, Coach Ford. Hey, I was good to talk to you, man. Hope to see you real soon, buddy. Keep up the good work, my friend.
You my man, boss. Appreciate you, brother. Stay in touch.
We'll do, folks. So Dana Ford on the Bossman Show, people.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
When you're a teen, you finally get to make some of your own decisions. Who are you going to hang out with? What do you want to be? Are you going to glance at that text while driving? Remember, a split second is all it takes for something tragic to happen. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay. Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today. Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.
All right, folks, back here on the Bossman Show. I just want to give you all a quick heads up. I'm going to join John Judkins here shortly, but I want to tell you about our initiative with Amazon. If you go to our website, bossmanshow.com, click on our Amazon banner, and shop through our website. When you do that, it helps us help the community of Atlanta. So when you percentage of your order will go back to us to help us here in Atlanta raise money for our communities here. So please go to bossmanshow.com, click the Amazon banner on top of our homepage, and shop through Amazon with us. Help us help the community of Atlanta. Coach Judkins is the coach of the Dixie State Trailblazers. They're out of the WAC now. They just transitioned from D2 to D1. I want to talk to Coach Judkins. Coach, good to talk to you. How things out there in Utah, man?
Things are good. Things are good. Can't complain.
Now, Coach, it's interesting to get your background. You've been there since 2005, Coach. You know, that's when I started college, man, 2005. So you've been there a while. So you've been there since I've been in my whole adult life. But, Coach, you got started in JUCO, then went to D2. Now you're going to D1. So talk to us about how those transitions affect you for scholarship-wise, getting players and going from up each level. Can you share with us how that all works for you guys?
Yeah, that's a good question. First of all, you're right. I've been coaching for a real long time. It's kind of weird when I'm coaching players. I coach their dads, and now I'm coaching their sons. It's been quite a fun trip. But you're right. When I got into coaching, I wanted to coach at the Division I level. That was my goal, and I kind of had some opportunities and just didn't do it. And now here it is. It's there. So it's if you coach long enough, I guess you can get there. But we're really excited. You know, Dixie State is a great place. St. George is a great place to live in. We knew it would grow. We just didn't know it would grow as fast as it has. And going from a junior college, a really productive junior college. I mean, we won a lot of things at a junior college, probably one of the best junior colleges in the nation. And then they decided to go 4 years and go to the D2. And we thought, wow, I don't know if we should do that or not. And we did. And it took a while to get going, but then we became pretty good in D2. Started winning a lot of championships and getting to the NCAA tournament. And we felt really good about that. And then all of a sudden we get a call from our president and says, guess what, guys, we're going D1. And so we were really excited for that. But we know it's going to be a challenge. We know it's going to be hard. But we feel the WAC is a perfect place for us in our conference. And now being the first year, the only part that's not fun is with this COVID-19, we haven't done all the things that we kind of were hoping to. You know, with summer workouts and spring workouts, and we didn't have a chance to do any of that. So that part was bad. But, we're excited. We're excited at least the NCAA has allowed us to play, where our football and our volleyball and all the fall sports didn't get a chance to play in the fall. We're excited that the WAC and the NCAA are at least letting basketball start out, and we'll see how it goes. We know it's going to be interesting and tough for us, but we're excited for the challenge.
Now, Coach, how is scheduling been? Because I know they pushed it back 2 weeks, November 25th. So how's it been trying to schedule games? Now, also coming from D2 to D1, trying to get scheduling games, and now you got COVID, 2 weeks less of scheduled games. So how has that been for you guys, Coach?
Well, scheduling at first was really easy. You know, once you're the first guy coming into Division I, everybody wants to play because, they know we're not going to be very good. So we had everybody on us, and then all of a sudden this COVID thing out. We lost five really good games. Starting November 10th was our first one, so that hurt a little bit because those were bye games we were kind of counting on. And so that's okay. That happens. So now we had to go back and redraw the board, and now with the WAC coming out and saying what we're doing, that's all we've been doing the last couple of days is getting on the phone and getting games, and so far it's been pretty good. So we're still excited. We're not playing as strong a schedule as we had earlier, but again, like I said before, at least we're playing. That's all I'm happy for.
Now, Coach, as far as restriction, I know in D2 you have like 10 scholarships. You can kind of do them however you want to do them. Now do you have the full 13 now in D1, or they have you kind of on that transitional period where you only have 10 this year, then 11, then 12? How's that part work for you,
It's
Coach?
been good. It's been good. They have done that. They've given us the 13 full rides, which is great. It's like you said, though, we had to let a couple guys go because we didn't have scholarship for them. We're at the Division II level. We had the 16, 17. They weren't full rides, but they were partials, and we could help people out that way. Well, when we went this way, we only had 13 because if we give out a partial, it counts as one of our 13. So we couldn't do that, so we lost a couple kids on that situation. But it's nice to go into a home and talk to a family, parents, and say, guess what, your kid's going to be taken care of. We got a full ride scholarship for him. That part's going to be really, really nice. So we're excited for that.
Most definitely. And then, Coach, for us, the COVID, for the guys who return to your roster, how was the offseason trying to talk to them via Zooms and, keep them engaged mentally via Zoom, getting their grades to stay up while there was on campus, they're at home? So academically, how was that trying to keep the young men focused on the academic-wise and keeping their minds fresh, not getting worn down with the whole pandemic thing going on around them?
Yeah, that's another good question. It was hard. Recruiting was a lot harder than in the past. One is, the school part wasn't as bad because of the Zoom, and we were checking up on them to make sure they were doing what they're supposed to do. That wasn't too bad. But the recruiting part, bringing them on campus for an official visit, that's kind of one of our strengths, is to come to sunny St. George. It's beautiful. Like you said, it's 85 here today, 85 to 89. It's beautiful. And so that's one of our biggest things, is to get kids on campus. They fall in love with campus. We have great facilities. And then also to meet the team. I think that's a big part of recruiting. And when that was turned away, we couldn't do that. It made it a lot tougher. But thank goodness, Zoom's there. Thank goodness we can still communicate and talk to families. And we took advantage of that and did our best. And we might have lost one or two guys because of it, because they didn't get to come on our campus. But overall, we were really happy with who we got, our recruiting, and now we got some other commitments too as well for next year, which is good. We can't wait till they take that off and let us start bringing kids in, because I think that's one of our strengths.
And Coach Junkins, you feel like that you will keep doing Zooms going forward for us recruiting? Because I know it can help you save on your budget. It kind of levels the playing field to a degree, for you don't have to really get on a plane and spend resources to go travel to see a guy. You can maybe see him on Zoom and start building that bond with him via Zoom. Then maybe take a trip or two out there, but you don't have to do it all the time to see a guy play, watch the videos. I know probably watching the videos, I get to see him in person, probably hurt a little bit there, but kind of give and take of doing Zoom versus going to see a guy play a little bit there.
Yeah, we'll do. I think we'll use everything we can to our advantage, but we definitely want to go see them live. You see things a lot different live than you do on video or Zoom. You see how they act when they're not having a great day or things don't go well for them. So we want to do that. The Zoom thing I like is that you get to see face-to-face. You get to meet their parents face-to-face, so they know who you are. When you put a face with a voice, it makes a big difference. So for the phone calls, we're still doing that. We're still getting way involved in that. And so it's going to be different. But like I tell our staff, hey, everybody has the same problem. It's not just us. If it was just the whack, you can only do this, then it'd be tough. But everybody has to go through it, so we know that. We just hope that they open up this, we can get better and we can get out and see people live. We're excited for that, and I think the players are. It's been tough. Probably, I like to have asked that question to the players. How do they like it? Because I think they miss it. I think they miss the coaches coming and watching them live, and we're still going to do that as well.
And Coach, for me, the Zoom has been a revelation for me, because doing phone interviews, like, I never see you guys unless I come to the game. I can see you guys in person, can see me. So for me, it's been good for the radio side. I didn't thought I could do my radio show via Zoom and get audio from Zoom. I never thought until this happened. So it made me kind of receive something new that I didn't even realize I could do. I've been doing this for 8 years, Coach. I had no idea, man.
No, I agree. Seeing a face makes a huge difference, and so I think that would. You have a face for radio, right? That's what they always say. You get the face for radio.
Yes, indeed. and now, Coach, bringing your guys up in for finesse there on campus with you. So how was that being, kind of ramp them up for November 25th here, so they won't get injured? So that's something nagging all year long, because you don't want to have a guy, get a soft tissue injury and it nags all year long and they're healthy. So how was that being ramping those guys up?
That's hard. We do have some injuries and so forth, but this COVID thing's tough too. With these kids, here you are coming college life, and you want to get involved with the college atmosphere and get to meet people and hang out and go to some parties. And now we're telling them they can't do any of that. They just got to stay with basketball and go to school. And here in Utah, we're wearing the masks to school, and they're doing a really good job of protecting them in classrooms. Some of our guys are doing the Zoom calls and stuff like that for classes, but most of them are attending in classes, which is great, but it's tough. And the injuries, that's going to happen wherever you go, whatever it is, COVID or not. We're trying to get our guys in the best shape we can, and a lot of times that's when you have injuries. But we'll fight through it just like everybody else. And the good thing about moving it back to November 25th is some of these injuries might be healed by then, and might have our full team back on the court ready to go.
Now, Coach, for you going to D1 now, how much prep have you done for scouting? It seems you'll be playing in conference in the WAC now, because I know you're new as well, and they're looking at you like, okay, what did he do last year to this level? So how has that been, trying to kind of get ready to face these guys down the road, knowing that you have a task on your hands, they're all coming for you? Dixie, that's a win tonight. So how do you fight against that idea that they have?
That's what we get paid the big bucks. Huh? We got to do some tricks on them. We've the WAC we've seen quite a bit because right here in the West with Utah Valley just being up the street. We've played them a few times, but now they got a new coach with Mark Madsen, so it's going to be a little bit different. But thank goodness for synergy and a lot of the video stuff that we have that you can get on and almost find any game, and same with them. So that's what we've been doing. We've been watching a lot of last year's stuff. New Mexico State looks really good again. They're always a powerhouse. And now with the new coach at Grand Canyon, we know they're going to be a handful as well. So we're preparing. We're doing, that's one thing we have been doing is, with the time of not out going recruiting and being on the road, my staff's done a great job of getting on the computer and finding games and starting to look at teams and see what we have to prepare for. So that's how we've been doing it. And I bet you they've been doing the same thing.
That's what I got for you, Coach, is this. At what point, Coach Judkins, you think that you thought in your mind you'll become a coach? Because I know for a lot of guys, the coaching kind of comes to them in different ways. So for you, how did coaching come to you to say, I'm going to be a coach? And who are some guys who inspired you to become a coach as well?
That's a good question. My dad kind of probably was the one that when we were growing up in Little League and thing, he always coached our team. So it's always been there. That I have three older brothers that we played all sports. My oldest brother is Jeff at BYU. Coaches the women's and played in the NBA for 5 years. And so, we all went on to play college basketball, all my brothers. And when I first went to school at Utah State, I took some business classes. That's kind of what I wanted to do with my dad. My dad and grandpa owned their own businesses. And so I kind of thought, well, I'll go do a business thing. And I got in there and I just did not feel right. And I just felt like, I want to do something with coaching. And so I started looking into it and got into it more and more, and that's where I fell in love with it. And thought, you know what, this is the next best thing of playing. You still get the butterflies, you still get the highs, the lows. It's a lot of fun to come to work. It's a lot of work. I mean, you're not an 8 to 5 guy. You're gone a lot, but it's got some benefits for my family that they get to go see in the world and do things. But I just love teaching and loving seeing these young men. We bring them in as freshmen and see how raw they are and how almost immature they are. And then when they leave, man, they're men and they're grown up, and hopefully we've touched their lives, not just in basketball, but in life, and help them with their jobs and with their families. And to me, that's the benefit of the whole thing. So I just love to teach, the practices and the stuff like that, travel on the road. I just love being with guys and get to know them. And it's been a lot of fun. So that's kind of where it started. Coaches, role models. I mean, I've had some great coaches here at Dixie State. That's where I came as well. And a guy, Neil Roberts, taught me a lot. And then I went up to Utah State and finished my career. I had Rod Tueller up there and Coach Con Smith, who was there with Bobby Knight. Learned a lot from him. And then I went to a junior college to coach. My first coaching job was at Snow College, and was an assistant there, and had Elliot Anderson and also Larry Anderson, but more Elliot Anderson helped me with some stuff. I thought, you know what, I'm ready. And I became a head coach at Snow College when I was 27 years old. And, I thought, wow, I'm young enough. It's going to be fun. And from then on, it's just been great. It's been a great ride. And somebody's asked me, hey, when are you going to retire? I said, I hope I never retire. I mean, I just love it.
Definitely.
I love coming to work and spending time and teaching and learning. So it's been a great thing.
And you've had lots of success. I saw your record, man. All those 20 win seasons you've had, man. Even in your first year at Dixie State, 20 wins first year. So I could see that you have a standard out there, man. You're going to get this program going. I look forward to cheering on you guys and seeing you all grow as through this transition. And hope you all can, when you get to that 4 years, you can get in that tournament and make some noise, man.
Yeah, that's the plan, man. That's what we're trying to do. So we're just building up to it. But it's been a lot of fun. I've had great assistant coaches with me, too, that have helped us get those 20 wins a year, and we hope we can do it again this year.
Thanks. Hey, Coach, I look forward to it, man. Thank you for your time this morning. I know it's early out there in the mountain time zone, so thank you for doing it, man.
No problem. I appreciate you inviting us, and hope I can meet you in person, and we can sit down and maybe get something to eat. But appreciate you, and we'll stay in touch.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
Suntan City, let yourself shine.
When you're a teen, you finally get to make some of your own decisions. Who are you going to hang out with? What do you want to be? Are you going to glance at that text while driving? Remember, a split second is all it takes for something tragic to happen. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.